Welcome back, boys and girls. Welcome to another story time right here on Learning with Miss G. Today we have a very fun fall story called Pumpkin Jack, and it's written and illustrated by Will Hubbell. When Tim carved his very first pumpkin, it was fierce and funny and just perfect. A jack-o'-lantern this good deserves a name, so Tim gave it one, Jack. Long after the best trick-or-treat candy was eaten, Tim still kept Jack. At night, when a candle made Jack's face dance on the wall and fill the dark with the warm pumpkin smells, Tim felt like Jack was almost magical. Yet too soon, the spell was broken. See, Jack is glowing right there on the wall. This pumpkin is beginning to rot, announced Mom. It's time to throw it out. Tim knew it was useless to argue. He carried Jack to the garden, which was filled with brown ghosts of last summer's plants. A dead garden is better than a trash can, thought Tim. Still, it made him sad to leave Jack outside and all alone. See, he took Jack out to the garden. There he is. But Tim's a little sad to leave him out there by himself. Whenever chores or play brought Tim to the garden, he looked at Jack. Every time, Jack was a bit different. His face became wrinkled, and his fierce smile began to look a bit silly. See how his smile is beginning to look a bit silly? I wonder what's happening to Jack. Mold spread all over Jack's bright orange skin. As the day turned colder, Jack grew flatter and flatter. Winter began. Soon Jack was hidden beneath snow, and Tim forgot all about him. The cold, heavy jacket weather days came in, snowmen and sliding days, indoor days, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's. When all these days had passed and the March wind melted the snow, Tim found Jack again. Look, Jack is beginning to show. He was all covered with the snow, but now the snow's melting so he can see Jack again. There wasn't much left. Just a faded and crumpled pumpkin skin, a stem, and a few seeds. Jack's Halloween magic was a distant memory now. Tim scraped a thin blanket of earth over the last bits of his pumpkin. "Goodbye, Jack," he whispered. See, Jack is just seeds now, and crumpled skin and a stem. So Tim just moved some dirt right over those seeds and kind of buried them. When spring turned barefoot warm, a tiny sprout appeared where Jack had been. Tim found it and guessed what it was. In the days that followed, Tim weeded and watered and watched the sprout. Slowly and steadily, the plant changed and grew. It branched and spread a web of vines over the ground, but no pumpkins appeared. So he's taking very good care of the little sprout. The days turned hot. Flowers opened on the plant each morning, yellow stars that twisted shut forever in the afternoon. Still, no pumpkins. Finally, Tim found a little green ball growing behind a crumpled blossom. "A pumpkin!" Tim let out a whoop and ran to show his mom. By August, the plant had spilled onto the lawn. Tim's favorite game became pumpkin hunting. He carefully waded among the leaves, searching for green pumpkins like they were hidden treasures. See all those plants? And Tim just carefully walks through them looking for tiny green pumpkins because pumpkins are green before they ever become orange. School began again, and the days cooled. Tim had less time to visit the garden, but when he did, the pumpkin plant seemed tired. There were few new leaves, and the old tattered ones no longer hid the fat green pumpkins. Then one October morning, Tim woke to see frost coating the garden. The frozen plants seemed changed to a pale blue grass. You can see Tim right there in the window, peeking out at his plants. After school, Tim discovered what the frost had done. The pumpkin plant leaves were limp as wet paper because they were dying. Tim searched among the withered leaves for the unripe pumpkins. He picked them and put them on the front porch, hoping for one last change. There he is, carrying the pumpkin. By Halloween, the pumpkins had ripened to bright orange. There were many, for the plants had been very generous, and Tim was generous too. He gave away all of his pumpkins but one. And his friends look pretty happy to get those pumpkins, don't they? From jack-o'-lantern to seed to pumpkin again, the circle was almost complete. Now it was time for Tim to do his part. He gave his pumpkin a face. It smiled at it in a fierce and funny way. Tim smiled back and said, "Welcome back, Jack." So now he has a new pumpkin that he carved a face on and called it Jack. So now Jack was back once again. And that's the end of Pumpkin Jack. I hope you enjoyed this fall story. If you'd like to hear more stories from Miss G, come right back here to see me on Learning with Miss G. Bye-bye.